Patreon! Hi, I'm Ross Scott, the creator of Freeman's Mine, Civil Protection, Ross's Game Dungeon, and other videos.
Yeah, hit him with the shovel! The shovel! You broke your hand! The shovel!
Now this video is a little different because it's not meant for my usual audience. Over time, I've had at least 7 people say I should set up a Patreon campaign so they can pay me more money. I don't understand it either. So this is for you guys, at the expense of everybody else who doesn't want to see these kinds of videos. Now, if the image of some hairy guy saying he'll take your money is good enough for you, then here's a link you can click on and I'll take your money. Hooray! But some of you may want to know little things, like why is this not a Patreon link? What am I going to use this money for? Can you defeat me in combat? Excellent questions. I'll answer all that I can. Right now, I make most of my income through YouTube. Let me be the first to say this is stupid. I sort of fell into this by accident. Before this, I worked many different jobs, most of them hell jobs. I've worked as phone tech support, a kitchen steward, a security guard, grunt work for an entomology department, and under the table yard work and home construction. I can't even say which one was worse because they were all awful in completely different ways. For example, would you rather be covered in ticks every day or only sleep 5 hours a night? So making videos for a living was never really my plan. This isn't a plan B. What I'm doing right now is more like a plan J or K. I'm kind of amazed I've been able to keep it going this long. And you know what? I think YouTube is too. Making money from YouTube is kind of like flying a sputtering plane that you think might crash, but manages to just barely stay above ground. Except nowadays, I feel like the plane is also on fire. Now some people can produce great videos every week or every few days, and I don't know how they do it. I've tried every shortcut I can think of, and it never gets me where I need to be. It's been about 3 years since my last big income drop on YouTube, and the only time I've made enough to get by comfortably and not worry about things was last year for 1 month when I was finishing the finale of Freeman's Mine. During that time, I was spending every waking moment on the videos. So in other words, if I work 80 to 100 hours a week on my most popular series during one of the most popular months, then yeah, I can get by okay. But anything less, no, forget it. It's like jogging in quicksand. So this video is me pressing my luck. Honestly, I kind of hate making videos like this. I mean, yeah, this background is pretty sweet, but I'd rather make a video more people want to watch rather than going, hey, how about some money, huh? Because everybody likes that, right? The thing is, I don't think I deserve money for this. I'm not practicing medicine or building a bridge. I'm making strange comedies and talking about video games. Oh yeah, that's real pillar of society stuff right there. You know, at his trial, Socrates said he thought he deserved free meals provided by the city, and they sentenced him to death. So it's good to keep perspective. I took a personality test before that stereotyped me as a mad scientist, and yeah, I can kind of see that. I sometimes focus on a project to the point where I neglect everything else. Does this look like the face of a man who is financially motivated? If Dr. Frankenstein runs out of funds, do you think he'll just give up on science? It would set him back. He'd have to sell the castle, fire Fritz, but he would get a shack or something and find some way to get more body parts so he could continue his experiments. Well, I'm a lot like that. Right now, I have 3 basic goals in life. 1, make the movie. For those that don't know, I've been working on a full-length movie that I think will blow away every other video I've done. It's going to be a comedy adventure set in a medieval fantasy environment and contain some of my absolute best material. If I could only make 1 more video, this would be it. It is still years out though, so this is a real long-term thing. 2, make more videos. I have all kinds of ideas for videos. In fact, most of the videos I have made are kind of tame compared to all the stuff I have in my head. Problem is, usually the better the idea, the longer it takes to make. So I'm compromising all the time. That's kind of the idea behind the movie. I won't be for that. In any event, I haven't gotten to half the things I want to do. And number 3, survive. Now, believe it or not, these other 2 goals don't actually take that much money. They mostly just need time. But this third one here, that's the one that just keeps coming back at me. It messes with everything else. Sort of. Like, don't even worry about the movie. Even if this fundraiser goes to hell, I'll still find a way to make that happen. Eventually. Because I really want to make this movie. But damn it, I want to eat more, but only a little bit. Like if I've eaten, I think, yeah, I'd rather make the movie. But if I haven't eaten, then... I've had some people think that I'm a millionaire before. That's not exactly accurate. But hey, this video's talking about money. Why don't I just tell you how much I make? Well, the most money I've ever earned in my life has been $36,000. So not quite a millionaire, but that was just for 1 year, many years ago, under really specific conditions. Still, I felt like royalty when I was earning that much. I wasn't even accepting donations then. If I was earning anything close to that now, I wouldn't even be making this video. Nowadays, and for the past few years, my pay has been hovering around $15,000 to $19,000. Now, depending on what part of the world you live in, that can still be a lot of money. For where I am, it means I'm not quite making it. But what scares me is with the way YouTube is going, I think I'm going to be making half that next year. So how have I been getting by? Well, anytime I have a surplus of income, it's like a power-up in a video game. I make that last as long as possible and just ride it out, so I can hopefully bring things back up again later. In fact, a lot of you probably know I had a fundraiser before to get an SSD to increase the quality of the videos. I was asking for $500 to make that happen and instead received about $18,000. Holy crap. I am still riding off of that, and I think it'll last me another year. So I'm fine right now. It's the part after that that keeps me awake at night. And this is an easy target, but I love using it. Compare that to the Kickstarter board game, The Doom That Came to Atlantic City. The guy in charge of that raised $122,000, took the money, moved to Portland because that's economical, then ran out of all of it after a year with absolutely nothing to show for it. Now, eventually another company picked up the pieces of his disaster, but the point is, the last time I got money from people, not only did I make the videos I said I was going to, but I'm about 17 times more efficient with money than a fly-by-night Kickstarter project with delusions of grandeur. So what do you get if you send money? After all, Patreon campaigns usually have prizes, right? Well, I'd love to give everybody posters and balloons and puppets, but I'm kind of at full capacity with my time as it is. I think if I were to give everyone prizes, I wouldn't have time for the videos. I'm really not a businessman at heart. I always prefer to just give out all the stuff for free if I can. I have to intentionally fight my instincts to withhold something I've made from the audience. So yeah, I'm not very good at this make people give you money thing, but what I will do is make some promises. First, I promise to keep making videos as long as nothing catastrophic is happening, either personal or global. I say this because say aliens have invaded and are scooping people up by the truckload. I may have to stop making videos so I can train for guerrilla warfare. So I don't want people to think, oh, you broke your promise, now you're fighting aliens. I want to keep making videos for decades. So as long as nothing life-crippling is going on, I'm going to keep making more. Second, I promise any money you send will go towards either food, rent, or the videos. And no loopholes either. I don't live an especially lavish lifestyle. I won't use money for any extravagant cause. So if I ever need more than that, I should get it another way, not from your money. So if you send me anything, I'm not gonna go out and buy gold spinners for my car. Third, this one isn't a promise so much as a general plan. If I'm taking money from people, I want to start having monthly video chats with all fans. I'll let you know what I'm doing and you can ask me any questions. I figure the best thing I can do is be transparent so you know what's going on. I'll have more information on that later. Fourth, I try my best to personally thank everyone who donates. Sometimes I get emails bounce back, so I figure those people are secret agents and they need to cover their tracks, but I figure it's cool, they know they donated. Okay, I'm sure some people are wondering, if this is a Patreon campaign, why am I linking to my website and not Patreon? Well, I looked into it, and due to where I live and how my taxes work, if I were to go through Patreon, I could have a lot more paperwork and would definitely get less money. In fact, I made a chart here. This shows how much money I actually get to keep from Patreon versus just donating on my site. That's kind of a big difference. I mean, the whole point of this campaign is to get more money to keep going. Like if these were stats in an RPG, you'd definitely go with the axe. Okay, so now I'm sounding like a damn infomercial, but if you want to help, you can just go to the site and donate once, or do a recurring monthly payment. I mean, that monthly thing is nice because then I can see the future, but I'll take whatever I can get. Now I admit, these incentives are kind of lame compared to other things out there, but hey, we'll get to live chat each month, maybe we can figure out something better. And I've said this before, but I want to say it again. If any of you are having financial difficulty, don't donate. Seriously. I'm happy for money, but not if I have to wring it out of people who need it more than I do. You get the videos either way. In fact, I don't want anyone to feel like they have to donate. You don't owe me anything. This here is just the last stop before more extreme solutions. That said, there is one type of person whom I do want to donate. When I was working on the phones doing tech support, there was one person that called in who had been paying for premium internet access. I want to say about $110, $120 a month. They had been doing this for 2 to 3 years, but their account showed that they had never activated it before. So in other words, they were finally getting around to using their internet for the first time after having paid thousands for it for years, never using it at all. If this sounds like something you would do, I want you to sign up immediately. Select the recurring payment option and just pick a number you're comfortable with. You can come back and check the videos anytime you want. Maybe you're the kind of person who has all your bills automated. You have so much money you don't even know half the stuff you're paying for each month. If that's you, make a recurring donation right now. You can do it once and forget all about it. Everything will be fine. Finally, I want to say I really appreciate just about any help people give me. Hey, a lot of you have played Half-Life. You know that part where you're swimming in this flooded corridor and you're running out of air and you think you're gonna drown, but then you find a room with a pocket of air inside it? For me, every donation is like that. I want to thank everyone who has donated or will donate. It's all more air for me. Okay, that's it. I'd like to end this with a quote that's always stuck with me and really captures the spirit of what I'm trying to do here. In the game Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, when making a character, one of the career backgrounds is for a cut-rate party clown. Here's what they have to say. It was just supposed to be until you put things back together after Evelyn left you. Here it is, 3 years and 3,246 scotches later. Somehow you've kept this gig going without one repeat customer. Truly, America is the greatest nation on earth.